का मुझे लगा कि ये मौसम और ये क्या है मालूम है आपको? ये कीचुआ आर्ट फॉर्म हैं और ये जो है ना वहाँ
Bhajju your work.
With Bhajju's agreement, I actually worked with some students in London, and we made some very big versions on that sort of size. And actually, we turned it into a show, a mechanical show. Get into the book, the idea of the book and the travelogue, and be inspired by the illustrations. And then the second aspect is you're going to make something mechanical.
Cool. Let's see how it flies. Is it going up and down? Oh, that's so cool.
And it actually symbolises how he felt when he was leaving his village to come to London. And it was half sorrow, half excitement. And his various thoughts are symbolised on these spikes, on these bits coming out.
So it's one mechanism for all those?
One mechanism, yeah. And these two shorter ones will eventually be the eyes.
Right.
We'll cut them down a little bit once we've got the face on. So we're going to have crazy eyes and crazy hair. These work. Yeah! Woo!
I like all the sounds that it makes. Yeah, I like the sound.
Illustrating his feeling about the London Underground system, which he found just completely magical and fascinating, and associated the tube lines with snakes and worms.
I was going to give them a base coat of white first.
Where a person, Bhajju Shyam, came from India to London, and it's all about his travels, and this is a performance based on his interpretations. How did a tribal man like me get from a village in a forest to a city like London? An artist goes where their work is. As soon as everything was fixed, and I knew I was going for sure, I started to feel something strange. It's a feeling I call 50-50, half and half. The heaviest animal I've ever seen is an elephant, so that it is the creature that came to my mind when I painted this plane. A plane taking off is much of a miracle as an elephant flying. I put the trees upside down in the sky and the clouds below, because flying turned my world upside down.
We had almost reached London. I could see the land from far above, but it didn't look like anything I had imagined. England was more like a design, a pattern in a bright glowing green. I was going to a country that looked like a sari, but it was only when we landed that I realised how different it was from India. The officials were friendly and everyone stood in neat lines.
I have painted an English pub in the form of a sacred muho tree. Gons make alcohol from its flowers. It is a provider for us, like the restaurants and pubs seem to be for English people. It is the tree that loosens our tongues and sets us free during celebrations and festivals, like pubs do for the English. I show English people as bats, not to make fun of them, but because I like to think of them as creatures that come to life in the evening. Snakes signify earth in Gond painting, and here I've used snakes for the criss-crossing underground routes of the train. Between the snakes are the stations, like spiders sitting on their webs. I wanted a busker in the picture because I like buskers. To me, the busker appeared to be the only human being who was relaxed in the underground, bringing happiness to people with his music. Everyone else was trying to move on and get to some place above the ground again. So I have turned the English woman in the painting into a four-armed Indian goddess. For us, the many arms signify that the goddess is everywhere at once, capable of many tasks. Usually the things the goddess holds in her hands are symbolic of her powers. So the woman in my painting has a menu card in one hand, is offering a cup of coffee in the other, holds a cigarette in the third, and a telephone in the fourth.
Lots of very clever mechanics and artistic quality.
Look at you. Come on. Thanks a lot.